Wondering what to do with all your leftovers at the end of the week? I'm going to show you 5 different ways to turn last night's dinner into a delicious new meal. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Taylor from The Girl on Bloor. I'm all about sharing easy meal prep strategies that you can save time, money, and stress. We all know how passionate I am about reducing food waste, and I try to reuse whatever I can as much as possible. Instead of just throwing away all the extra food you have lying around in your fridge, there are plenty of ways you can transform your leftovers into a delicious new dish. Today I'll be showing you how to make 5 different recipes using leftover chicken, veggies, and rice. We'll be making mason jar instant noodle soup, shrimp fried rice, easy loaded Tex-Mex sweet potato fries, buffalo chicken wraps, and fiesta chicken rice bowls. All of these recipes will help you use up your leftovers and reduce food waste by repurposing ingredients you likely already have on hand at home. Plus, you won't feel like you're eating the same thing every day either. If you're looking for even more leftover ideas, I'll show you tons of ideas in my free 5-day meal prep challenge, which I've linked to in the description below. Okay, let's get cooking. We're going to start by making our mason jar instant noodle soups. This recipe is a great way to use up any leftover chicken and veggies you have lying around your fridge and is super comforting on chilly days. To start, prep your ingredients. Shred 2 leftover chicken breasts and assemble your veggies. You'll need a total of 2 cups of julienne veggies to distribute evenly among 4 1-liter mason jars. For my soup, I'm going to julienne about 1/4 cup of each veggie, and I'll be using broccoli stems, carrots, bell peppers, and green onions. This recipe is super versatile, so you can try using different veggies and legumes such as chickpeas, lentils, spinach, kale, zucchini, cabbage, and mushrooms. Once all of your ingredients are ready, it's time to assemble your mason jars. Add a bit of shredded chicken to each jar, followed by 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of sriracha sauce, and 1 teaspoon of lime juice. If you don't like spice, you can leave out the sriracha or substitute for a milder seasoning such as lemon pepper. Layer the veggies on top, then add 1 vegetable bouillon cube and some rice vermicelli noodles. This entire recipe will use 1 package of noodles, so you'll have to eyeball it. This is probably going to be a bit messy, so just a heads up. After you've added the noodles, pop the lids on and store them in the fridge. That's it! When you're ready to eat, fill each jar with boiling water and stir until the bouillon cube has dissolved and the noodles are saturated. Let the jars sit for 5 minutes, then pour the contents into a large bowl and enjoy. If the noodles are still hard after adding in the water, or you'd like your veggies a little tender, you may have to microwave the jars with the boiling water in them for 1 to 2 minutes before eating. This recipe is perfect for meal prep lunches or nights where you're craving something warm and comforting. Plus, since you're using leftover chicken and veggies, they will be ready in a flash. The mason jars will last in the fridge for 4 to 5 days. If you want to freeze them, add in the boiling water and let them cool, then freeze them for up to 3 months. Reheat from frozen in the microwave for 6 to 7 minutes, stirring halfway through. Okay, moving on to recipe number 2. If you've got lots of leftover rice that you don't know what to do with, you'll love this shrimp fried rice recipe that we're going to make next. It actually tastes better with days-old rice than it does with fresh rice. And the best part is that there's not a lot of prep involved in this recipe. All you need to do is mince 2 cloves of garlic and slice 1 bunch of green onions. You'll also need 3 cups of cooked leftover rice. I find that white rice works best, but you can use whatever you have on hand. Add 2 tablespoons of butter to a large skillet, followed by the minced garlic, and saute for 30 seconds. Mix in the cooked rice, then add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce and stir it combine. Make a little hole in the middle of the rice and add a tiny bit more butter, then crack 1 egg in the center of the hole and scramble for a few seconds until set. Add in the green onions, some raw or cooked shrimp, and any other leftover veggies you have on hand. Frozen veggies will also work. Stir everything together and cook for another 2 to 3 minutes until the shrimp is cooked through, and then serve and enjoy. And there you have it. This is probably the easiest fried rice recipe ever, and it's a great way to turn boring old leftover rice into something new and exciting. Depending on how old the cooked rice is, this recipe will last in the fridge for up to 4 days. When you're ready to reheat, sprinkle some water over top to make sure the rice doesn't dry out, and microwave for 1 to 2 minutes. You could also reheat on the stove. If you don't end up using the rice in time, you could also freeze it in airtight glass containers for up to 3 months. Let it thaw in the fridge overnight, then sprinkle some water over top and microwave for 2 to 3 minutes, stirring halfway through. Next, we're going to make these easy loaded Tex-Mex sweet potato fries using leftover veggies and leftover canned beans. This is one of my favorite ways to repurpose leftovers because you can literally take any protein and veggie, then add frozen fries and cheese. It's a delicious, healthy treat that comes together in less than 30 minutes, and the avocado cilantro sauce is a dream. You'll forget you're eating leftovers. To start, preheat the oven to 450 degrees and cook 1 package of frozen sweet potato fries on a parchment lined baking sheet. Most sweet potato fries need to cook for 20 to 25 minutes in the oven. oven. You can find tons of options for healthy sweet potato fries at the grocery store, in the frozen foods aisle, or in the natural food section, and you can always use regular frozen fries if you'd prefer. I use frozen to save time, but you could always make your own oven-baked fries as well. I have a few recipes up on my blog that you could check out. While the fries are cooking, prep your ingredients. One of my favorite parts of this recipe is that you can switch up the toppings to account for whatever leftovers you have on hand. Just chop them all up so that they're ready to be added on top of your fries. For this Tex-Mex version, I'm going to use up some leftover black beans that I've been keeping around in the freezer, then dice up 1 red pepper, chop 4 green onions, thinly slice 1 jalapeno, and chop up a bunch of cilantro for the fries themselves and for the avocado cilantro sauce. You'll also need to shred 1 cup of cheese like mozzarella or cheddar. Next, you'll make the avocado cilantro sauce. This creamy sauce adds the perfect finishing touch to your loaded fries, and you're gonna wanna put it on everything. Add 1 ripe avocado, half a cup of chopped cilantro, half a cup of sour cream, 1 tablespoon of lime juice, and half a teaspoon of salt to a food processor, blender, or magic bullet, and blend until smooth. When the fries are done cooking, remove them from the oven and top them with shredded cheese. Broil for 2 to 3 minutes in the oven until the cheese is melted, then take them back out of the oven, add on your toppings, drizzle on the avocado cilantro sauce, and dig in. How easy was that? There's nothing better in life than loaded, delicious fries. You could also add on leftover meat like chicken, ground beef, or pulled pork, so the options are endless. This recipe can't be frozen, but you can store the toppings and fries separately in the fridge for up to 4 days. All you have to do is reheat the fries in the oven for 5 to 10 minutes and then add on your fresh toppings. Next, we're going to make buffalo chicken wraps using leftover chicken and veggies. I used to make these all the time for lunch when I was in school because they're super easy to meal prep and they are low on calories. To start, prep your ingredients. Chop up half a head of romaine lettuce, crumble half a cup of blue cheese, dice half a cucumber, and slice half of a red onion. If you're using leftover veggies, chop them up to add to your wraps or serve them on the side. Shred your leftover chicken using a fork and knife, and then toss that shredded chicken with 1 cup of buffalo wing sauce. I like using Frank's Red Hot buffalo wing sauce since it's low on calories and it also doesn't have many preservatives. After you've finished your prep, assemble your wraps. This recipe makes 4 servings, so you'll divide all of the ingredients evenly among 4 flour tortillas. If you want to cut down even more on the calorie count, you can use whole wheat tortillas. Layer the lettuce first to make sure that the tortillas don't get soggy, then follow up with the buffalo chicken, blue cheese, and the rest of the veggies. Roll them up, cut them into thirds, and eat them fresh or store them in glass meal prep containers. These wraps are great for work or school lunches, but they'll start to get soggy in the fridge after about 3 days. So I recommend prepping your ingredients ahead of time and then making the wraps fresh the night before or the day of. Last but not least, we're going to spice things up by making Fiesta chicken rice bowls. These bowls are a fun way to use up leftover rice, chicken, veggies, and salsa. Start by prepping your ingredients. Slice 2 small red onions, dice 1 red pepper, 1 yellow pepper, and 1 green pepper. Chop up 1/3 of a cup of cilantro and dice up some leftover or fresh chicken breasts. I'm using fresh for this recipe and then using up leftover rice, but leftover chicken works really well here too. You're also going to need 3/4 of a cup of salsa, 3 cups of leftover cooked rice, and half a cup of corn. You can substitute the veggies for whatever leftovers you have on hand. I just love the Tex-Mex flair that the corn and peppers bring to this dish. With the prep out of the way, heat 1 tablespoon of olive oil in a large frying pan over medium-high heat. Add the chicken, followed by 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of cumin. Toss everything together to coat, then stir fry for a few minutes until the chicken has been warmed through. Add the veggies and saute for another 2 to 3 minutes, then mix in the leftover rice and salsa. Cook for another few minutes, stir in the cilantro, and remove from the heat. Sprinkle a 1/4 cup of feta cheese over top if you'd like, and then serve and enjoy. These bowls are a quick and easy meal option that can be made almost entirely using leftovers. You can store this recipe in the fridge for up to 5 days in glass meal prep containers and reheat in a skillet on the stove. If you're in a hurry, you can reheat these bowls in the microwave for 2 to 3 minutes. Sprinkle some water over top to make sure that the rice and chicken don't dry out, and add in a bit more salsa for extra flavor. This recipe also freezes really well for up to 3 months in airtight glass containers. When you're ready to eat, sprinkle some water over top and microwave from frozen for 6 to 7 minutes, stirring halfway through. Now you have 5 different ways to transform boring old leftovers into exciting new dishes. I never want to hear any moaning and groaning about your leftovers ever again. Okay, which recipe are you going to try first? If you're loving all these easy meals, my free meal prep challenge includes even more leftover recipe ideas. I've linked to it in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and tag me in your food photos on Instagram at @thegirlonblore. And if you know someone that needs help coming up with meal prep ideas and new recipes, please share my channel with them. All right, I have a lot of amazing leftover options to choose from, so I better get eating. Thanks for hanging out in my kitchen today, and I'll see you in the next video.